Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've made a video, and that is because I have been going through some pretty intense changes the past few weeks. And as you can probably tell by the title of this video, I had a very crazy intense experience a few weeks ago. And I was really hesitant to share this. I was really debating on whether I should put this out here online just because it's really personal to me. But then I thought that's what this channel's all about. That's why I made this channel, so I could share my spiritual journey and document the process and share my experiences. And it would be a shame for me to not talk about this experience that has been the craziest, scariest, most beautiful, intense, incredible thing in my life so far. So I thought I need to share this with people because maybe it'll help some people who are not really aware of what this is, and just put it out there and raise awareness on it and make it a more normal thing to talk about, because there doesn't seem to be much information out there about this. So I wanted to do my part and share my experience with everybody. So I'll just jump right into it. So as you can tell, I did the 5-MeO DMT toad medicine, also known as Bufo Alvarius, and it is apparently the strongest psychedelic in the world, which I did not know going into it, otherwise I may have psyched myself out. But because I'm not like a seasoned psychonaut at all. I've only had one psychedelic experience with psilocybin mushrooms before this, and so this was like a huge leap for me to do something like this. But the way that it like all worked out, the way that it all was in sync and fell into place for me was just a sign that I was ready to do this. And so I just trusted and went with it, and it was the best decision of my life, for sure. So, for those of you who don't know, Bufo Alvarius is a venom that is extracted from the Sonoran Desert toad's glands on its back. And the toad medicine is dried and it can be smoked or vaporized. It's kind of like ayahuasca, but much more intense because it's all packed down into like 15 to 25 minutes. And it's not really like regular DMT either. It's a lot stronger than that, because regular DMT, which I've never done, I know that you see stuff and see entities and patterns and stuff, but with the 5-MeO DMT, it's so intense that it kind of just like knocks you out. It just completely obliterates your ego, and there's just no possible way for you to hang on and resist it, because it's just like boom, like that intense. You inhale and then 5 seconds later you're just like out. Your ego is dead. It basically feels like you die pretty much. So I'm not going to go into all of the details about this, but the precursor to the Bufo ceremony was a Kambo cleanse, and that is a medicine that comes from a frog. I think it's like a frog from the Amazon or something. So the way that the Kambo is administered is through burns on the skin. So I don't know if you can still even see this, but so the facilitator makes burns in your arm, and then the medicine is put on top of the burns. And it's called a cleanse because it basically just makes you purge. Just lots of throwing up, purging. It makes you nauseous, and it's just not really comfortable or pleasant, but it's very healing to your body. It gets everything out. It really detoxifies your body, which is why it's done usually before an ayahuasca or a Bufo ceremony, just to like cleanse you out and purify your vessel for the toad medicine. So yeah, obviously it wasn't very pleasant while it happened, but after that I just felt very like cleansed and purified and just surrendered pretty much. So right after that we did the Bufo ceremony. I just want to say that I would never ever do this outside of a sacred ceremonial setting, just because it's so intense and you really need to respect this medicine. Like I said, it's not recreational. It should be done like in a sacred safe setting also to make sure that you are getting the pure stuff. So everybody would go up and do their ceremony one at a time, and we would all watch, which I thought was really like scary and intimidating at first, but now I'm so glad that we did that, because just being able to like witness everybody else's experience was just so beautiful and emotional for me. By this time, I started, like, while I was watching everyone else's ceremony, I started getting super emotional. And by that point, I wasn't even really scared anymore. I was just in complete surrender mode and just in complete trust of whatever was about to happen, because I just knew very deeply that I was supposed to be there. But I was just getting so dang emotional during that. But it was so beautiful just seeing everyone's experience. Some people just cried, and some people screamed, and some people rolled around. It kind of just depended on the person. So when it was my turn, you go up and read this prayer, basically saying like, I surrender to the medicine, and then you take one hit and hold it, and I just remember feeling like I just dissolved into nothing. I just remember feeling like I got sucked into a black hole. I lost all awareness of my body, the boundaries of my body, where I was, time and space. It was just like I got sucked straight into the void, and it was so scary, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, you can't resist it. It just happens so fast and so intensely that there's no resistance involved. But I remember just kind of like collapsing, and I just remember feeling like energy just like collapsing on itself. People said that I was just like rolling around on the floor, and I kind of looked like I was in a negative space in the beginning, but I didn't see anything. Like I know other people, from hearing their experience, some people saw colors or shapes, but I just saw like dark, like blackness, just the void. Like I said, it just felt like I was in a black hole. That lasted for like a minute, where I was just kind of sensing a little bit of this like like infinity, of this void, of this intenseness. I don't even know what to call it. But then after that, I don't remember anything else. Like it felt like I was conscious during about 1 minute of it, and apparently I was out for like 15 minutes, and I don't remember any of that. And so I woke up after that, and I sat up, and my first thought was just, honestly, I thought that it didn't work, because I didn't remember anything, and it was just not what I expected at all. And I was just so confused, and was just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I was just so confused. And I just remember, like, I looked back, and I looked around, and I saw everyone's face, and then just all of a sudden this wave of like unconditional love and bliss just overwhelmed me. And then I just like collapsed on the floor and was just like crying, and was just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was just so much gratitude and love. And like I just remember feeling nirvana, this moment of nirvana, of heaven, of bliss, of complete oneness with everyone and everything. And that was just so beautiful. Like, man. And it was just a super vulnerable, intimate experience to share with everyone, and it honestly was like a death and rebirth. Ever since then, things have felt different, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but something definitely has shifted after that, and it just feels different. So a few days after that, I was still just like buzzing with so much love. I would like go to bed and close my eyes and kind of like reactivate the experience a little bit. I just kept reliving it and just trying to process it, but it was just so discontinuous with everything that I've experienced in my life so far that it was just kind of a shock. Like I was still in so much shock of what happened. And still just like buzzing from all of that love and riding the wave a little bit, like being in this flow. And then I started to kind of feel like I could see infinity in the air. I remember coming back home and just looking around and just starting to really like get a sense of infinity. Just seeing the empty space, but feeling like infinity was in the smallest of molecules. It's like something just like clicked within me, and I just really sensed the presence of this empty space around me. I can't even really explain it, but I just had I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just felt like I could sense the presence of all of the energy of the universe in the empty space. That's the only way I can think of to explain it. But it was just something different about my reality that I was sensing. There was a little bit more that I was sensing. That was the first few days after. Still super, super emotional. And I actually tried to film a video about this like right after, but I couldn't even like get my words out. I couldn't even put it into a video. That first 30 seconds after I did it, I just remember feeling like I just got like sucked into a black hole, like just, and I just felt this like this breath of like my ego dissolving, like my consciousness merging with the rest of the universe. But then about a week after, I honestly kind of went into this little like depression because I was still just really confused about what had happened, and I was feeling really like lost and disoriented, like my ears were ringing and I felt like I couldn't even breathe right. I felt like no matter how deeply I was breathing, it's like it wasn't satisfying my need for oxygen, and I just felt kind of like lightheaded. This was right around the holidays, so I had to keep isolating myself just to collect myself. I just did not want to be around people at that point, and so I wish that I had like a little bit of a period to like be alone and really let it integrate, but unfortunately I had to be around a lot of people that time, which was kind of overwhelming for me because I still was just trying to process what was going on, and it hadn't really set in yet. Still hasn't completely set in yet. But yeah, I was just in this weird place where after that experiencing the void and experiencing just nothingness, it kind of just seemed like nothing even mattered anymore, like nothing. Everything was meaningless, and I kind of just lost all desire to do anything. I couldn't even be bothered to make a video, and I couldn't even be bothered to do anything. Honestly, everything that I thought I wanted before that kind of just dissolved, and I'm still kind of in this place of like, what's gonna happen next? Like, what am I doing? Who am I? Where am I going? I don't know. I'm just taking it day by day and just like trying to fully surrender to this process. But yeah, I was just feeling like very lost and disoriented. Just didn't even know how to cope with it at all, really. But then I started feeling really inspired to read Be Here Now by Ram Dass, and I actually had gotten the book over a year ago and skimmed through it a little bit, but I hadn't really like fully thoroughly read it all. And I suddenly just got this like urge to start reading that book, and it was kind of crazy because the next morning after I had started reading this, I found out that Ram Dass died, and so that was kind of like a weird synchronicity thing there. But yeah, I started reading that book. I'm so glad that I waited until now to read it because I really needed to have that experience first to really like understand that book. And everything that it was talking about really just like assured me and explained a lot of unanswered questions that I was left with, and kind of put my mind at ease and just like really explained everything better to me. That book really resonated with me after having that experience. And so now that I've been reading that, I'm just like, I feel like I'm in a completely different world. I feel like this new like level of understanding and perception has just opened up for me, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm just in this flow state, and I'm just so happy, and I'm feeling so light. It just feels like a lot of tension has been released, and I didn't even realize that I was holding so much tension in my body until now. Like, I feel so much lighter and freer. And I just sense that there's been this shift deep within me, and I just feel like I get it on a whole much deeper level. Like I don't even know what it is that I get, but I just feel like I get it more. And it truly was like a death and rebirth. It's crazy because in my video about the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, this big like astrological conjunction happening right now with Capricorn and all of this change going on with that, I'm a Gemini rising, and so this transit was happening in my 8th house, which is about death and rebirth, and I felt that coming, but this was like a literal death and rebirth. This is not, like, I couldn't even imagine that this would be the experience I would have while I was making that video and while I was thinking about that. But man, I died alright, and I feel like I've been reborn, and I'm in a different world. And yeah, I just remember waking up and just being so grateful to be in this body and to be able to see and hear and sense and be aware and just have this experience as a physical being. I think that is like one of the biggest takeaways for me, really appreciating being in this physical form and using this physical form to live my fullest life and have the greatest experience that I can, and go as deep within as I can, become as conscious as I can. It's just opened up all of these new ideas and perceptions for me. It was like these things that I had read about before and I knew intellectually, but now I get it from like a deep heart level, from a deep feeling level. I really like understand the things that I thought I understood. How everyone is a reflection of you, and we are all just one being, fractalized into little separate looking creatures. I just really get that now, and just really feel the union with everything, and I really feel like I understand what all of this is. And so yeah, it's hard to explain, but it was a beautiful experience. I'm excited to start making a lot more videos back again, and I am excited to see where I end up in the near future, because I'm really sensing this change coming, but I just don't know if it's going to be the change that I previously intended. I don't know what that change is going to be, but I definitely sense a major change coming. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Stay woke.